Welcome to this video about the authentication of a user. After watching this video, you will be able to define the purpose of authentication, describe the different authentication protocols, describe the purpose of authentication servers, describe the different authentication methods. When individuals seek to assert their identity, they must validate their authenticity. This is where technologies such as authentication protocols, servers, and standards come into play. The primary purpose of these technologies is to verify an individual's claimed identity. Authentication protocols are a set of digital rules and process systems to ensure the person trying to gain access is who they claim to be. Much like showing an ID card to prove your identity before entering a secure facility, these protocols check digital credentials before allowing access to a protected resource or information online. Let's look at some of the most common authentication protocols. Remote Authentication Dial-In User Service, RADIUS, is a client-server protocol used for remote user authentication and authorization. Enterprise networks commonly use it to authenticate users before granting them access. It is commonly used in wireless networks and VPNs, allowing secure authentication for remote users. Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol, CHAP, is a secure authentication protocol that verifies the user's identity through a three-way handshake process. It is commonly used for remote access to networks and services. Extensible Authentication Protocol, EAP, is a widely used authentication protocol that allows various methods for authenticating users in wireless networks. It is often used to secure remote access points, such as Wi-Fi hotspots and VPNs. EAP supports methods like MD5 challenge, one-time password, generic token card, and transport layer security, TLS. Kerberos is an open-source authentication protocol developed by MIT that uses strong encryption to protect user credentials passed between client and server. It relies on a trusted third-party server known as the Key Distribution Center, KDC, to verify user identities. One of the most notable applications of Kerberos is in Microsoft Windows Active Directory environments, where it plays a primary role in authenticating user identities and regulating access to network resources. Building on the foundation laid by the protocols, particularly Kerberos, let's focus on authentication servers' role and functionality. Authentication servers manage user credentials, verify identities, and grant access to protected resources or systems. They serve as intermediaries between the user and the resource they are trying to access, using a variety of authentication protocols to ensure the users are who they claim to be. These servers store and manage user credentials, such as usernames and passwords, in a centralized database. When a user attempts to access a protected resource, the authentication server will verify their credentials against this database before granting or denying access. Some popular examples of authentication servers include Active Directory, used in Windows environments, Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, LDAP servers, and Remote Authentication Dial-In User Service, RADIUS servers. Passwords are still the predominant method for user authentication. However, this approach has significant vulnerabilities. The primary concern is that unauthorized entities can easily access and misuse passwords. Without periodic updates by the password's owner, the password remains vulnerable to exploitation. Given sufficient time, an attacker can decipher the password and gain unauthorized access to systems using brute force. Consequently, multi-factor authentication has become increasingly popular to enhance security and mitigate the risk of compromised passwords. Common second-factor authentication methods include, as suggested by its name, a one-time password, OTP, is valid for only a single use. This prevents attackers from using any brute force attempts. Biometric authentication methods include fingerprints, iris and retina scans, facial recognition, voice recognition, and vein recognition. When inserted into a card reader, smart cards that store cryptographic keys and certificates can authenticate the user's identity. Security tokens, either hardware or software-based, generate a unique code at fixed intervals that must be entered along with the usual password. Mobile push notifications, where a prompt is sent to a user's device, and authentication is completed by approving the login attempt via the app. In this video, you learn that authentication protocols, servers, and standards verify an individual's claimed identity. Authentication protocols such as Radius, CHAP, EAP, Kerberos, and so on are a set of digital rules and process systems to ensure the person trying to gain access is who they claim to be. Authentic servers, such as Active Directory, LDAP, and Radius, store and manage user credentials, such as usernames and passwords, in a centralized database. Passwords have vulnerabilities. Other authentication methods include OTP, biometric authentication, smart cards, security tokens, and mobile push notifications.